Hello there, it's time for recap. The movie's title is at the end of the video, and watch out for spoilers. Novelist Jennifer Hills travels from New York City to Louisiana to work on her next book in privacy. The gas attendant, Johnny, gives her directions when she gets lost on the way and embarrasses himself trying to flirt with her. When the cabin's plumbing becomes clogged, it is fixed by Matthew, a stuttering plumber who has a social interaction disability. She rewards him with an abrupt kiss of gratitude. Matthew tells Johnny and his friends Andy and Stanley about his visit. Johnny, whose ego was bruised after the gas station incident, decides that Jennifer is snobbish and needs to be taught a lesson. That night, the four men sneak into the cabin and taunt and assault her. Although Matthew refuses to participate out of sympathy for Jennifer, she escapes into the woods and bumps into Sheriff Stork and Earl, the owner of the cabin she is renting. Stork takes Jennifer back to the cabin. But when he finds her drugs and alcohol, he accused her of drug abuse. Johnny, Matthew, Andy, and Stanley return. All five men gang rape her, including the reluctant Matthew. Stanley records everything with his video camera. Afterward, just as Stork is about to shoot her, Jennifer jumps into the river and escapes. Jennifer begins to stalk her rapists in order to learn details of their lives. Stanley tells Andy and Johnny that his camera has been stolen, along with the videotape of their assault. Stork intercepts a videotape sent to his wife and confronts the men to find out who sent it. Johnny and Andy suspect Matthew. When they go hunting, Stork kills Earl, saying that he is taking care of loose ends. Matthew returns to the cabin where he finds Jennifer. He attempts to apologize to her, but she tells him that it's not enough and strangles him. She captures Stanley in a bear trap, ties him to a tree, smears fish guts on his face, and then leaves his camera to record crows pecking out his eyes, which she pinned open with fish hooks. She then drowns Andy and burns his face off in a lye bathtub. Next, she ties Johnny to the rafters of an abandoned house and uses pliers to pull out his teeth and a pair of garden shears to emasculate him, leaving him to bleed to death. While torturing them, she repeats to all of the men the taunts they had used on her. Jennifer visits Stork's wife, posing as their daughter, Chastity's new teacher. She takes the daughter to the park, and when Stork tracks her there, she knocks him unconscious. When he wakes up, Jennifer stuffs his shotgun into his anus and reminds him that she was just as innocent as his own daughter. She attaches one end of a string to the trigger and the other end to the wrist of the unconscious Matthew, who is seated in front of Stork. When Matthew wakes up, his movements trigger the shotgun, which fires a round that tears through Storch's anus and mouth before hitting Matthew in the chest, leaving both men dead. Sitting outside, Jennifer hears the gunshot and smiles. This movie is titled, I Spit on Your Grave.